name. Haribo, Mukunda Madhava, Govinda Hari, Haribo, Haribo. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he has come to taste and give away the sweetness of his brain. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, all you have to do is take to the sweet chanting of his name. Hare Rama. Every day the sun will rise, and every day the sun will set. Haribo, what's the value of your life if devotion you don't get? Haribo, Haribo. Take the name into your heart, take it with you when you part. Haribo, Haribo. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he has come to taste and give away the sweetness of his brain. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, all you have to do is take to the sweet chanting of his name. Haribo, Haribo, Yashamati Nandana.
Gauranga, hey, good morning, everybody. Early morning today again.
OGEP.com.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. What did Johan say? I can't see it for some reason. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Yeah, amazing. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Purchase your
Hare
tracks today.
Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Purchase your
Hare
tracks today.
Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama,
Purchase your
Hare
tracks today.
Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna Hare Krishna. Oh, oh, it's so great to be here. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Purchase your
Hare
tracks
Hare,
today.
Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Nityananda Gauranga, Nityananda Gauranga, Nityananda Gauranga, Nityananda Gauranga. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama. All right, let's chant some japa here. Oh, it looks like I didn't fully put the link on here. So whoever wants to come on can come on. Sorry, I didn't fully put the link in there. Okay. There's the link. Sorry there, Lolita. I forgot to put the thing down, I feel like I come here when I chant, it's like I'm getting instruction. I'm learning, I come here like a student. It's amazing, it's like I'm discovering all these new things about relating to God. It's not even like, it's like, how God is supposed to be God. No, I didn't. I just forgot to push the button. That was it. Yeah, this is like, what a thing. God is supposed to be God. And find out he's like a friend. It's like, it's inconceivable. It's so natural. It's like, it's so connected. It's so perfect. It's so unbelievable. It just gets better. Man, I don't know. I don't think, I can totally relate to to Jesus when he said talked about the kingdom of God as the pearl of great price. Because it's really like that. It's like the most precious discovery. It's the most valuable thing. I mean, I could imagine if I had billions of dollars, it wouldn't be like this. Or any wealth, or any position. There's nothing like this gift coming of Lord Caitanya through the disciplic line. Precious, precious, precious. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Prabhupada and Jesus and all your assistants and servants. Everybody, actually. Everybody provided lessons. So everyone's a servant of the Lord in that sense. So anyway, I don't know, just rambling on here. So let's chant some japa. Get more. Let's see if we can make some. Let's go into the goal mind and see what we can. See, that's the thing. When you become attached to chanting, it's like Lord Caitanya said in Shashastika prayers. It's ever expanding, white lotus, ever expanding. You know, this beauty and amazing. You know, nourishment. It's everything. You know, and oh, this is. Yeah, and what a mission. Fantastic mission. Yeah. Holy Spirit, anything to do with that holiness is perfect. That's why, you know, from one man, Jesus Christ, who had the power to awaken people, you know, 99.9% of people, sorry getting into this, but anyway, I feel like it. 99.9% of the people in the world, 99.9% of the people of the world didn't know anything about what was holy. You know, they're all in the Maya, and the Lord sent his son. God so loved the world that he sent his son. So, because people, you know, the Lord doesn't really love the world. He loves the soul. He loves who we really are, you know. So, you know, love the world. Whether, you know, it's just like, if he loved the world so much, where is he? He's hidden. He loves the soul. See, we make even the Bible conclusive. I mean, where do you get that? We can make the Bible conclusive. We could teach theologians here. That's how much power Lord Caitanya brought. God so loved the world. I just think inconclusive. He doesn't love the world. I mean, love's matter, man. No, that's why he comes to teach us. Hey, man, love him, man. Love spirit. We're a chip off the old block. You know, the source. You know, Satchidananda. We're meant to be connected to Satchidananda and let Satchidananda flow into this world. See, Sat, the eternal form of the Lord. You know, which is just it's a piece of it's like a jewel of God in this world, you know, a ray of real light and life and purification and inspiration and, you know, like that. This is like Jesus was one of those persons, hardly one knows Krishna in truth type thing. Hardly one knows. And we got that here in this Sangha. You could become one of those hardly ones who know Christian truth, more so than the biggest sannyasis. Oh, Lord, it is right. See, look, Jesus prayed like this, that you hide from the wise and the so-called intelligent scholars and give yourself to babes, simple people. It's a revival of that, my friends. Dr. Tom, all right. Yeah. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. You can put your microphones on. Let's hear the chanting here.
Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Oh my God. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Hare Rama, Rama.
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare Rama, Hare Rama.
Hare Rama, Rama Rama,
Rama
Hare
Rama,
Hare.
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Rama, Rama Rama.
Krishna Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna Hari 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 Rama
Krishna Krishna Hare
Rama Rama Hari Hari Hari
Hare
Krishna
Rama
Rama
Hare
Hare
Rama
Rama
Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Rama
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 Hare
Rama Hare
Rama
Hare
Rama
Hare
Hari
Krishna
Hari
Hare
Hari Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna Hari Hari
Krishna
Hari
Krishna
Rama Hari
Hare
Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna
Rama
Hari Krishna Krishna Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hari
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Hari
Krishna
Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari
Hare
Hari Hari
Rama
Krishna
Rama
Hari
Rama
Krishna
Hare
Krishna Krishna
Hare
Hari Hari
Krishna
Hari
Hare
Rama Hari
Krishna
Rama
Krishna Krishna
Rama Rama Hari Hari
Hare
Hari
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna Krishna Hari Hari
Rama
Hari
Rama
Rama Hari Rama
Hare Rama
Rama
Hare
Rama Hari
Rama
Hari
Hare
Hari Krishna
Krishna
Hari
Hare
Krishna
Krishna Krishna Krishna
Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Rama
Hare
Hari Rama
Hare
Rama
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 Hare
Rama
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 Rama Hari 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 Krishna Hari
Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna Krishna
Hare
Hari
Hare
Hari
Krishna
Hari
Hare
Rama Hari
Rama Hare
Rama
Rama
Rama Rama Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna
Hare Rama
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Rama
Hari
Rama
Hari Hari
Hare
Rama
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 Hari
Hare
Rama
Rama
Rama Rama
Rama
Hari Hari
Rama
Hari
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Hari
Krishna
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 Krishna Krishna
Krishna Krishna Hari
Krishna
Hari Hari
Krishna
Rama
Hare
Hari
Hare
Rama
Rama Hare
Rama Rama Hari
Hare
Hari Hari
Rama
Krishna
Hare
Hari
Rama
Krishna
Rama
Krishna
Rama
Krishna Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna 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 Hari
Hare
Hari Hari
Hare
Rama Hari
Rama Hare
Rama
Rama Rama
Rama
Rama
Rama Hari
Hare
Hari Hari Krishna Hari Krishna
Hare Krishna.
Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama Rama
Oh my
Rama
God.
Hari Hari Hari
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hari
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna Hari Hari Krishna
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama
Krishna
Rama,
Krishna Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama Rama Rama
Hare
Hari Hari
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Jesus
Krishna Krishna,
Prabhupada
Hare Hare,
Jesus Srila
Hare
Prabhupada
Rama, Hare Rama.
Jesus Srila Prabhupada Jesus Srila Prabhupada Jesus Srila Prabhupada
Hare Krishna,
Jesus Srila Prabhupada Jesus
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Jesus
Hare
Srila
Krishna,
Prabhupada Jesus Srila Prabhupada Jesus Srila
Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna
Hare Krishna,
Srila
Hare Krishna, Hare
Srila
Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Advaita
Hare Hare, Hare Hare
Nityananda
Rama, Hare Rama.
Sri
Krishna Krishna Hare
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 Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare
Hare
Rama
Krishna, Hare
Sri
Krishna, Krishna
Advaita
Hare
Rama
Ram,
Rama
Hare
Hare
Hare, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Sri Advaita Nityananda Sri Krishna
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Sri Advaita Nityananda Sri Krishna Chaitanya Sri Advaita Nityananda Sri Krishna
Nityananda,
Chaitanya
Shri
Sri
Krishna,
Advaita Nityananda Sri
Shri
Krishna
Krishna Chaitanya,
Chaitanya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Sri Krishna Chaitanya
Nityananda, Nityananda,
Sri Krishna Chaitanya Sri Krishna
Nityananda, Nityananda,
Chaitanya
Shri Krishna
Sri
Chaitanya,
Krishna Chaitanya Hare Krishna
Nityananda,
Hare
Nityananda,
Krishna
Shri Krishna
Krishna
Chaitanya,
Krishna Hare Hare Hare
Nityananda,
Rama
Nityananda, Shri
Rama
Krishna
Rama
Chaitanya,
Hare 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 Krishna
Nityananda,
Hare
Nityananda,
Krishna
Shri Krishna
Krishna
Chaitanya,
Krishna Hare 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 Rama
Nityananda,
Rama
Nityananda,
Rama Hare
Shri
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Chaitanya,
Krishna
Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare Rama
Hare
Rama
Rama, Hare
Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Rama,
Hare Hare
Rama Rama,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Rama
Hare
Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna
Hare Rama,
Krishna
Rama Rama,
Krishna Hare Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna
Hare Rama,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Hare
Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Rama Rama
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Rama,
Krishna
Rama
Hare
Rama,
Hare
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 Krishna Krishna Hare
Rama
Hare
Rama
Rama
Hare
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 Rama
Hare
Rama Rama
Krishna
Hare Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna Hare Hare
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama Rama
Krishna
Rama
Krishna
Hare
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 Jesus
Krishna,
Srila
Hare
Prabhupada
Rama Hare Rama
Jesus Srila
Hare
Rama
Prabhupada
Rama,
Rama
Hare
Hare
Rama, Rama,
Krishna
Jesus
Hare Krishna
Srila Prabhupada Srila
Hare
Prabhupada
Krishna,
Srila
Hare Krishna, Krishna
Prabhupada
Krishna, Hare Hare.
Srila Prabhupada
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Srila Prabhupada.
Hare
Jai
Krishna,
Srila Prabhupada. Jai Srila
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram
Jai
Ram,
Srila
Hare
Prabhupada. Jai Srila
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Jai
Hare Hare.
Srila
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Jai
Hare
Srila
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare
Jai
Ram,
Srila
Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna,
Jai
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Sri Krishna
Hare Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare Krishna,
Ram Ram, Hare
Sri
Hare.
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Rama,
Krishna, Hare Hare.
Sri
Hare
Krishna
Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Sri
Hare
Advaita
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Sri
Hare Ram,
Advaita
Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna,
Sri
Hare
Advaita Nityananda
Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare
Hare Ram,
Krishna.
Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Haridas
Hare
Haridas
Krishna, Hare
Haridas
Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare.
Haridas Rupa Rupa
Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare Krishna.
Rupa Rupa
Hare Ram,
Rupa Sanata
Hare Ram, Hare Hare.
Raghunatha
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Hare.
Rupa
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Rupa
Hare Ram,
Hare
Hare Ram,
Krishna.
Ram
Rupa
Ram, Hare Hare.
Krishna Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare Rama, Hare
Hare
Rama.
Sri
Rama,
Krishna Chaitanya Sri Krishna Chaitanya
Hare
Sri
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Chaitanya
Hare Hare.
Sri
Hare
Krishna
Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare
Krishna
Hare.
Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Sri
Krishna
Krishna
Hare Hare.
Chaitanya Sri
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama
Sri Krishna Chaitanya
Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Sri Krishna
Shri
Chaitanya
Krishna Chaitanya, Shri
Sri
Krishna
Krishna
Chaitanya,
Chaitanya
Shri
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna.
Chaitanya,
Hare
Shri
Hare.
Krishna
Sri
Hare
Chaitanya,
Krishna
Rama, Hare Rama.
Chaitanya Sri
Shri Krishna
Krishna
Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya,
Hare
Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Krishna.
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Sri Krishna
Shri
Chaitanya
Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna
Sri
Chaitanya,
Krishna
Shri Krishna,
Sri Krishna
Shri
Chaitanya
Krishna
Sri
Chaitanya, Shri
Krishna
Krishna Chaitanya.
Chaitanya Sri Krishna
Hare Krishna,
Chaitanya
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Sri
Hare.
Krishna
Hare
Chaitanya
Rama,
Sri
Hare Rama,
Krishna
Rama Rama,
Chaitanya
Hare Hare. Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna
Hare
Chaitanya,
Krishna,
Rupa
Hare Krishna,
Shri Krishna
Krishna
Sanatana
Krishna,
Chaitanya,
Hare
Shri
Hare.
Krishna
Sanatana
Hare
Chaitanya.
Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare
Rupa
Hare.
Sanatana
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Hare
Haridas,
Krishna.
Haridas.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Narada Muni.
Oh, my Lord Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Wow, Shri Balaram. Hare
Oh, my
Krishna,
Lord
Hare
Shri
Krishna,
Krishna.
Krishna Krishna, Hare
My
Hare.
Lord Shri Krishna
Hare
Chaitanya,
Ram, Hare
Shri
Ram, Ram
Krishna
Ram, Hare Hare.
Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya.
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Shri
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna.
Krishna, Krishna
Chaitanya,
Krishna,
Shri
Hare
Krishna Chaitanya,
Vishnu.
Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna
Hare
Hare
Chaitanya,
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Shri Krishna
Krishna
Chaitanya,
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Shri
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Krishna Chaitanya,
Hare Hare Rama,
Hare
Shri
Ram,
Krishna
Hare Ram,
Chaitanya.
Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Rama Rama, Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram.
Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya,
Krishna Krishna
Shri
Hare Hare
Guru
Krishna
Vaishnava
Hare
Chaitanya,
Rama
Bhagavan.
Hare
Shri
Rama
Hare Krishna,
Rama
Hare
Rama
Krishna,
Hare Hare Krishna
Shri Krishna Chaitanya,
Krishna
Shri
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare
Shri
Rama
Krishna
Hare
Chaitanya, Shri Krishna
Rama Rama
Hare
Chaitanya,
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna, Krishna
Krishna Hare
Krishna.
Shri
Krishna Krishna
Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna
Hare Ram,
Chaitanya,
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Rama
Hare
Shri
Hare.
Hare Rama
Krishna
Rama Rama
Chaitanya,
Hare
Shri
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare.
Krishna, Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Ram,
Hare
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 Ram
Rama
Ram,
Hare
Ram.
Rama Rama
Ram
Rama
Ram.
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Jaya
Krishna.
Jaya Sri Chaitanya, Jaya Nityananda, Jaya Sri Advaita Chandra, Jaya Gora Bhakta Vrinda.
Jaya Jaya
Jaya
Sri
Jaya
Jaya Shri
Jaya
Krishna
Sri
Chaitanya, Jaya
Chaitanya,
Nityananda,
Jaya
Jaya
Shri
Shri Advaita
Krishna
Chandra, Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya, Jaya Nityananda, Jaya Sri Advaita Chandra, Jaya Gora Bhakta Vrinda.
Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya, Jaya Nityananda, Jaya Shri Advaita Chandra, Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama. Chaitanya Charitamrita, chapter um, uh, chapter 1 of Adi Leela. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Chapter 1, Spiritual Masters. The Lord was showing me something very interesting, about this great secret. It's just never, it's funny, like a lot of these things I've always kind of knew, but I like this word new now. This is the perfect tense. This is the perfect understanding of new, means literally new. See, everything in this world gets old. See, it's new and then it's old. It's new and then it's old. But the spiritual potency is new and newer and newer. See, it's perfect and more perfect and more perfect. This is why this is where it's at, man. If you're not here and in this clique per se, see, this is the perfect clique. Everything is perfect here. There's cliques in the world, and everybody, oh, we can't be part of the clique, man. Hey, man, this is a clique also. You want a clique? Well, come here. You can become part of this clique. See, it's open. See, the cliques in the world are not everything because not perfect. See, and everything, it's just everything old and new and then old and new. And that's why you always got to get new products. Everything wears out. It's so motivated in this world, materially motivated. They even design things so they get old faster, or they design something in there to break after a certain period. They don't want to wait for it to naturally get old. It's too long. You can't make a profit on that. Everything is materially motivated in this world. Isn't it interesting? I find it very interesting. See? So the spiritual potency, its glories is, and that glory you can get here, by the way. Put it in commercial. We have a commercial here. You can get that glory here, by the way. How would you like newer, and newest, and then newer than that every day? How would you like to come to an educational program where it's the best education you had that day and it gets better the next day? Hey, that's the kind of potency we're dealing with here, there, Mr. Tom. Dr. Tom. It's amazing, isn't it? That thing is amazing. Yeah. So yeah, and anyway, that wasn't even what the Lord. That's what the Lord showed me in that moment. I'm not even dealing with the past, that He showed me 5 minutes ago.
I had the same experience this morning.
Yeah.
I had the same experience. Yeah, new revelations. And then you say, yeah, every day new revelations.
Yeah.
In
What a
things that you
lifestyle.
knew before,
Yeah.
rituals that you saw before, and suddenly the Lord downloads you more knowledge.
More.
You know what I saw now? You know, Guru Maharaj, that I really loved that Paul in the prison.
Yeah.
5 years ago, I became so ecstatic by reading that in the Bible, that he was in the prison and because of his ecstasy, the walls fell down.
Yeah.
And all
Opened
those
up.
soldiers fell, and I started to fly from reading that.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
now I was chanting, and suddenly I got this revelation. Yeah, the ecstasy of the Lord breaks the walls of our prison,
That's
breaks it
right.
away.
Yeah.
Poof.
Yeah.
And it's every day I have those things.
Yeah,
Constantly.
yeah. It's beautiful revelation. It's so
And
true.
constantly.
You see how the stories they're metaphors of also they could, yeah, that happened. Everything, but it's funny. They're simultaneously a metaphor, like of something that happens from within, breaking the walls. Like, see, that's from God. See, that's called revelation. So that's what the Bible is all of. There's stories full of these revelations, but they're written in codes. I experienced this when I was first woken up, and I had the Kundalini energy, or whatever they want to call that energy, coming up into the body and exploding, and then having all of these experiences of the crown of thorns, with the opening of the crown chakra and all the needles in there. And I thought, wow, this is all metaphors. The crucifixion is in Golgotha. It means the place of the skulls. See, the crucifixion is the mind. Is the mind being crucified from the false ego. It thinks it's this identity, and there's a crucifixion of that. That's why people are even the ones who are suffering. Because I've been teaching about this, they're picking it up because I notice in their classes they say, "Oh yeah, I'm getting, going through the death of the false ego and the grieving." And see, it's useful. This is the path. You got to have some. We make the see, because the Lord wants to help us. He's helping us. He's helping me. And because we're like a family here. It's just like families help each other. If you're a part of a community, like when you're part of a community. Uh, Everybody, they help build the house together. You ever seen these communities? They work together and they build a house together. We're doing that. We're working together to build each other's house. Our house being, the temple, and erecting the spirit in there. And that's why it's done in community. See, congregational chanting of the holy names. That's what we're doing. This builds the community. See, they people looking externally. Well, it's external and internal. We're together, but it's an internal thing going on also. Yeah. So all these kind of things, and yeah, yeah, it's amazing. The whole thing is just really, yeah. This is what people will see, and it automatically, just like as we're seeing it more and becoming more aware of it, automatically, it's like the 100th monkey effect. Their monkeys, see, we're all connected on one level, like the monkeys were on different islands, and one monkey on one island, even though they're not physically connected, they would do something, learn some new thing, and then the other monkeys in the other island would automatically imitate the behavior. And so that's basically how the Lord saves the world, because we're all connected, whether we know it or not. All connected, demons, demigods, and devotees, and all things, all creatures, we're all connected in that way. And so people are doing different things, different, and we're doing this thing. This thing is really the greatest of all, and what the Lord wants everybody, because this is the ultimate evolution for all beings. Well, it doesn't matter whether you're a demon or a demigod or an insect. This is where it's all leading to, is completion and wholeness, and transcending the illusion completely. It's just, and we're doing that. I mean, we're doing it in action practically in 2023. People will become more and more aware. And that's, now we're getting to what I was realizing was really great. And that's why I wanted to read on the spiritual masters, because it all begins here. It all begins here. I'm telling you, man. That's why it's usually so hard to find a real spiritual master, which is a real acharya, actually. Acharya means you really realize God and you know the Lord in the full aspect. And then you promote that, and you do a big impact on the whole universe, actually, because it's so rare to find. Look at Prahlad. Look what he did. Prahlad was one devotee in this universe. I mean, there are other devotees, but he was a specially empowered devotee to do a specific mission, to save the universe, actually. His incarnation was Vasudev Dutt. He's always, his mission is always to save the universe. That's his job. He just comes in to save the universe. He came as Prahlad. What did he do? He saved the universe. What did he? Vasudev Dutt comes in again, and even Lord Caitanya said, I'll tell the story if I can do it without, just breaking down. Vasudev Dutt, from his heart, he looked at the suffering of the world. This is the Lord, working through this devotee, man. The Lord shows his heart through his devotees. Otherwise we won't know the heart of the Lord. And so Vasudev comes to the Lord, and he knows the glories of Lord Caitanya, that Lord Caitanya is God incarnate in this world to save it, literally, and he's still seeing the suffering in the world. And the Lord doesn't appear to be doing anything except giving them mercy. Kind of like here, you notice? He's given us mercy. He doesn't seem to be doing anything else. But what about for others? Even Nityananda complained to Haridas. He said, Haridas, the Lord has given us so much, and so much amazing understanding and spiritual happiness, and understanding his importance and all this, but he's not revealing himself to anybody outside, seemingly. Okay? But that's all part of the plan, just like that's part of the plan here. You don't think the Lord's going to do a big thing here, man? No. He wouldn't be giving us these kinds of insights and this kind of ecstasy, this kind of understanding that nobody can touch or understand even practically. Okay? It's a very big mission. So I was thinking when I was chanting, like these, those who actually understand that it's by associating with the most exalted persons in this world and the universe, actually, they're actual devotees of the Lord, very intimate associates of God. That is the most important lesson you can understand. That's why they come and act as spiritual masters. Because if you do that, now you learn that if you perfect that and you actually become a devotee of a devotee, and then you get the blessing of Krishna and Lord Caitanya and God to feel this close relationship with the Lord, then you understand why Jesus Christ is still being worshipped now, after 2,000 years. And where are the Pharisees? The only use for them is maybe to explain the glories of Jesus Christ. See? And the devotees of a devotee who are like Paul, St. Paul, his story is still around. St. Peter, all these persons still around. Even if you don't even hear them, just like Lord Caitanya had many devotees too. We don't know exactly. He had thousands and thousands, but they're all glorious. But still, the ones we do know of, they're all like that. All the devotees of the true devotees of God, when you get purified and you become a devotee of devotee, even if the person cannot find you, because you can't often, Madhavinda Puri didn't find anybody like him already. He took initiation from this sampradaya and everything, but nobody really had the bhakti that he had from the get-go. Even Prabhupada commented on that. He said in his sampradaya, it was the Madhava sampradaya or something, and he said, Prabhupada said in the purport in Chaitanya Charitamrita, hardly anyone had the symptoms of this love of God. The hardly was him. He's the only one. Same thing with Jesus. Who's his guru? We don't know. Probably had no guru. Because who was like him? Not even the John the Baptist. John the Baptist said, I'm not even qualified to tie his shoe. See? So from the get-go, these persons are sent. And yeah, go ahead.
Still, he must have been ecstatic devotee, John the Baptist. Otherwise, he wouldn't have known that Jesus was the one.
Yeah.
He
Well,
knew that he wasn't capable to tie his shoes, so he had that revelation.
yeah, he had something, but to what extent? That's another thing. See, to what extent? He had the understanding to see that. And that's why somebody with a deeper level of consciousness than just human has to do it. He was very austere, very, well, he was like a very, perfect renunciate. I mean, he only ate honey. He was in the desert, living an austere lifestyle. Yeah. So anyway, he was sent actually to recognize. Just like people are coming here, you're actually obviously been meant to come here because you, out of many millions of people in the world, are recognizing what's going on here. This is, it's like Jesus said to his disciples, you have been with me from the beginning. It's like, it's teamwork. It has to be. Lord Caitanya came and his eternal associates also came. So there has to be some core. Otherwise, this kind of preaching can't be done. That's why those, if they're alone, they just go and go into a cave and do bhajan and nanding and go back to Godhead. And some are preachers, like Madhavinda Puri even. He came and then he made disciples. So he had to make them because nobody was like him, and unless you came and became a disciple. Just like nobody is like this kind of ecstatic worship unless you come here. If you don't come here, you show me anybody. You can't even find like Sadhguru. You show me the kind, let's see his, like his kind of worship. It's not like this. This is a specialty of Lord Caitanya. And the real line, the real associates of Lord Caitanya have this kind of style of ecstatic worship. There's nothing like it. It's par excellence. And that took me years to begin to figure out, and that's what I'm teaching now, is how fantastic it is, because people don't know. Okay? But if you do know, this is the practical meaning of the verse in Bhagavad Gita: those who know the purpose of my descent in this world do not take birth again. See, we teach that by example, and then people really know it. It's just, otherwise they just read the verses and think they know. Just like I said, when I was in these, like Narayan Raj group, they just read the verses and chant them and memorize them and think they know, but they don't know. There's all this Radhe without the Radhe. The Radhe is the ecstasy, where's the personification of devotion? That's what people need to look at. Where is it in the person? See, personified means in a person. where are the symptoms of that devotion in a person? See, this is the kinds of teachings you get. Very practical. Very, then you understand the purpose. Oh, yeah, Lord Chaitanya came to taste the ecstasy of devotion to Krishna because I see it in my guru and his real disciples. See, now it becomes solid, substantial. Oh, yeah, I think I want some of that. There you go. You're a Raganuga Bhakta candidate. Otherwise, you're not, you don't have interest in this. Well, then you don't get it. Because you got to follow the process. See? So these persons are remembered because they're devotees, and because inside there's the spiritual potency. What, sitting on the seat waiting for service? Remember, she read yesterday. The Lord was sitting on the throne, right? And the devotees come up and he's waiting for this kind of service. This is the perfection of what Jesus was talking about. Jesus said, my Lord he's very much looking to be worshiped in spirit and truth. You don't know who you worship. We do. We do. See, we also do. You don't know. You Vaidhi Bhakti don't know who you're worshiping. If you did, you would worship like this. You would have the symptoms like this. You would be part of this family. We would be part of your family. Where it's and you think, whoa, what isn't this in this one? Yeah, well, there's a family of life, and there's still dead parts of the family. We can give it life. But you have to go where the life is. This is the life of the real disciplic line. These are the real followers of Lord Caitanya. They follow what? Prema Bhakti path. We follow. The Lord was chanting in ecstasy, always wanting to experience and relish the happiness, the transcendental happiness of service to Krishna. We also follow in that path. That is our rule. Is the happiness of the Lord, to taste that nectar, and to rendezvous. The Lord has given us the power to do that. Otherwise, if you're not given the power to do that, if you don't come in the real line, you don't have the power to desire that. These are the desires of the Vrindavan residents. You have to prove that you can transmit this desire into others. Yeah, providing they follow the process. A lot of people, you might spend 20 years to figure out, oh yeah, I got to learn how, it's all about, man, I'm fully convinced. I looked at all angles of vision. This is the best path. All my eggs are in this basket, man. I surrender to my guru's preaching, man. My guru, and boom, you get it. And you realize birth after birth, my guru came to deliver me. He is my Lord, birth after birth. He's taught me how to worship the Vaishnavas. He told me they're the most important persons in this whole universe. Only devotees and devotees of real devotees are real. Otherwise, nothing's real here in this universe. I got that. Now, that's a disciple. I mean, that's top notch. You don't think you're going to get God forever thinking like that? Having that realization. So some people take 20 years, or even if it took 2 lifetimes to come to that conclusion, because you must come to that conclusion. Even in this lifetime, I had to come to the conclusion, make sure, and try this and try that and experiment with this, because Maya's always saying, well, what about this? What about this path? What about Sadguru? What about Joy Pataka? What about Narayan Raj? What about the Radhakund Babajis? And the Lord was always, from the very beginning, from my journey, was saying, hey, what about this? And the Lord, thought it was very good. It's always been very good. But sometimes you need a taste test, compare. So that's the preaching here. Experience. Maybe it'd be helpful, save you a lot of time, man, if you figure it out like this, Yeah, so the most important persons you notice that are remembered in this world. Look at Prabhupada. Why is he remembered now? See? Why? He has real life, right? Why did he have real life? because he was a devotee of devotees. He recognized his guru was an eternal associate of the Lord. You know, a lot of Radhakund Babajis don't believe in that. They don't believe Bhakti Siddhanta is see? And people that my ex-wife went to follow him, they didn't believe. I know her guru. I went there. See, I experiment. I went to checked it all out. She said, "Oh, this is the real thing." I went and checked it out. And he told me confidentially, he said, "Actually, you know, Bhakti Siddhanta and your line is not real. This is the real." See? So anyway, I came back on this path and followed this guru and Prabhupada in this line. She's following that line. What works? See? See, she became crooked. See, crook. See, you've been hoodwinked. See? Even Bhakti Siddhanta's brother. You know, there's a story I told you. I met the person who rejected Prabhupada. You went and visited him. Nice guy, you know, just very bright artist, you know. You're an artist too, very artistic and nice guy, you know, nice house and everything. But he rejected Prabhupada because he had pride. See, he couldn't tell the difference of what spiritual pride is and all that. And then he takes initiation from the brother of Bhakti Siddhanta. And his brother, he met him, you know, the brother and everything. And he said confidentially, he said, "Actually, you know, my Gurudev, who was a brother of Bhakti Siddhanta, said Bhakti Siddhanta was a demon." See? Maya is very subtle and very tricky and comes in family. You can see her in our own family. A lot of us, you can have a family member, they'll say, "Oh, actually, Krishna is not, that's not Jesus is," you know, like some of the people, you have a sister or brother, it's the same idea. What, you think it's different in Vaishnavas? You know, but Advaita Acharya had a son that was a Mayavadi. As a matter of fact, he said, "My family members are starting to criticize Lord Caitanya, so I'm out of here. I don't want to hear it." Yeah, you know, you can read this in Ishan. Was it Ishan Prakash? Something Prakash. Yeah,
All Judas. They all have Judas mood.
yeah.
Judas.
Yeah, yeah. You know, this is why the devotees. This is when you become a devotee of a devotee, the Lord protects you from this kind of stuff. So, but if you reject it, then you know, Maya just takes over and bewilders you in so many ways. But Jesus said, or Krishna said, "My divine energy is very difficult to overcome. But those who surrender to me," and that's what you find a real devotee like Bhakti Siddhanta when he was alive, or a real devotee like Prabhupada, see, and really truly surrender. Because if you really truly surrender to Prabhupada, like Vishnu Jan did, and Jayananda did, you get a special blessing like they did. But they were really, you know, they really got it. Not everybody is like that. But how much of the blessing, I don't know, you know, this is the special blessing, because you need to have these symptoms ultimately, and it comes by the gift of the line. It wasn't distributed profusely back then with Prabhupada. You know, or at all, I don't know, you know, just where do you see it? You know, where have you seen it? The closest I've seen was with one devotee, whose name was one of the first devotees. There was, what's his name?
Jayananda? No.
Not Jayananda. He was a big, heavy guy, the heavy set guy. Him and his brother, Gargamuni and his brother. Anyway, Gargamuni's brother, people know here. I mean, you must know. I hope you're not, you know, help me out. You know, what's the brother of Gargamuni, for God's sake? You know, somebody must know.
I'm not an ISKCON devotee. Freddie,
Yeah, I
or
know.
you, they know that.
Yeah, they know that. So, yeah. So write it down in the chat. Anyway, I saw him give class twice, and each time he broke down with spiritual emotions when he talked about Prabhupada. See, he had real, sincere love for Prabhupada. And so that was the gift, because that's your entrance. And he was just kind of like, when I knew him, I talked with him and his brother, and they're just kind of like regular guys, nothing's, really special or anything, but they had a special love for Prabhupada. See, that's the idea. If you just love a devotee, that's the main thing, and you get so much benefits, but how much? Because they didn't have those symptoms much. I mean, it was like very rare. Here, look at this. Look what we got every day. Bhavananda Das. No, not Bhavananda Das.
That's
Somebody
what
else.
Madhusudana says, Bhavananda does.
No.
No.
Brahmananda Das. Brahmananda. There you go. Brahmananda. Yeah, and so they got the blessing, but how much? Because this is coming out now. This is very special. And this is why even when Jesus was a person they heard about Jesus and they started preaching about him and everything, unless they met the Holy Spirit filled devotees, they didn't get that until they met, even though they were sincere. So that's the idea. That's why the Lord has many devotees, even before he was here. Before this line was here, many people worshiping, inviting, very sincere, giving their whole lives and everything. But they needed to make connection with the ecstatic devotees. That's the secret. That's the secret. The ISKCON devotees, all of them, if you don't have these symptoms that you see in our worship here, you need to come here for that mercy. That's shiksha. That's the shiksha you get. Otherwise, you don't get it. I mean, if you're fine just prancing around the stage with a big stick and a big following, but you're dry, and your followers are dry, well, okay, then it's a dry affair. I mean, that's what I found. I was in Narayan Raj group. I was in the Radhakund Babaji group. They're all no-shows. Every one. They're no-show. We don't show you that. And then they preach kind of all of them. So there's speculation. What I consider speculation, So, I mean, to me, the authority on the transcendental truth would be the ecstatic devotees who take the verses and make and show you clearly as it is, not those who take the verses and speculate on and take you away. Say by austerity you're going to attain this. No, by exactly what I preach here, because the book preaches that. You meet a devotee, a real associate, Lord Caitanya, and if they're giving this mercy by telling you conclusive, confidential things, like Shukadev Goswami told Maharaj Parikshit, like Lord Caitanya told his followers, like Nityananda showed and told his followers, and Advaitacharya his real followers, hey, then you get this. This is the way it works. It's always worked like this, not by your austerities. This is what I've seen, the opposite being preached in most of Vaishnavism, if not all of it. Yeah. A lot of illusions, man. You got to come in the narrow gate. The narrow gate is the real deal. Okay? And simply by understanding, if you come here and you understand these lessons here about Guru Tattva, and then coming through the gate and everything, then you'll find out what real greatness is. The devotees will be remembered. These what's being preached here will be remembered. Why wouldn't it be? Why wouldn't it be? People are being delivered here and not being delivered anywhere else that I've seen. This is deliverance. You show the world that you have an intimate relationship with the Lord without shame. And it's actually real. Now that's greatness. You show me any greater thing than that, greater opulence, greater mercy, greater liberation than that. Can't touch that. Da, 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 da. Yeah. See, and so this is the path to that, to real greatness, because Maya is always trying to show you the false greatness, the false ego greatness. See, false ego. Yes, be a great person. Yeah, make a lot of money, and people will, oh, wow, look, Tony Robbins. Oh, you're so great. You're a great businessman. Oh, look at Bill Gates. Let's do anything. He's our doctor. Bill, right there, Janaki. Oh, she's not up yet. Bill Gates, he's our doctor, right? Because he has a lot of money. Oh, boy, you're really thinking straight. Oh, yeah, WEF, New World Order. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, because he's got lots of money and he's part of the elite clique, you know. Oh, he must be our real leader that's going to lead us into the pearly gates of the AI paradise, right? Which is the new world order under AI and complete control. See? Oh, it must be right because these are our authorities. Is that really great? That's all illusions. Isn't it? Here we teach the real greatness is to teach the truth, to dissipate the Maya, to be used by the Lord and come into the real line and become a real guru by being a real disciple. You know, then the Lord uses you to teach the simple truths and deliver the world. What did Lord Caitanya told? Chant the holy name continuously. Meet people. You don't have to even come with me. You just you'll never lose Maya. So just follow this order. Chant the holy name and teach Bhagavad Gita and deliver the world. That's all we basically do, is teach Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam and Chaitanya Charitamrita, these principles, and chanting the holy name, but not just chant blah, 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 blah. It's Krishna, Krishna, Krishna with great ecstatic love by the mercy of our line, and deliver the world. Well, we deliver souls from worldly identification. That's more conclusive. Deliver the souls that are identifying with illusions. We deliver them. You tell me a better place than this, where you can get so much wealth, so many jewels, so big of a liberation beyond liberation. You show me any place that is like this. Read what Amy says there, Lalita. Our prophetess.
The Lord gives you this intelligence to see everything the way that it actually is. He doesn't lift the fog away from the vision of others, quite to this extent that he reveals the truth to you, true, because of the
And he does,
existence.
and there's a reason why he does that for you and anybody else following like you there, Amy. Because you believe in a devotee.
Yeah.
You believe, and therefore you're, by being a disciple, sincere, honest, heartfelt disciple and devotee of a devotee. Who else
Otherwise,
would
she
wear a
wouldn't
t-shirt
write
of it?
this.
She wouldn't have that. That's the revelation you get from following the real path. That's Guru Dev. That's being a guru. They're better than I can teach is by you following that example. I can't show that because I have to do it by, the way I do it. But you can teach the world. Anybody following like you and Lalita and Johan, you will have extraordinary, they will also find the real path. It's the demonstration of Guru and Krishna, and Guru and the real disciples. And the disciples are more important. Just like Krishna said, the Guru is more important. Worship of the Guru is more, or, like meditating, worship of the Guru is more important than me. See? Because they teach you how to connect with the Lord. Otherwise, you want the Lord, you can't get that. The super soul is right there in your heart. You can't get it. You're not connected. All these blocks and anarthas and flaming swords keeping you away. But then the real spiritual master, the real empowered servant of the Lord comes and clears all the debris, like, right, see, going into the, choppers and spades, uncovering the deity. That's you, man. You're in the jungle, man. And the real devotee and the associates, like here, we're going into the jungle with choppers and spades and uncovering the deity in others. See, all of that is happening here. It must happen here. Otherwise, just in a book, it's just a storybook that has no real meaning that you understand. Oh, it's just nice. Oh, yeah, well, this is a holy book. Let's put it on the shelf and worship it. We don't understand the book. We can't understand the principles of the book, these stories, what they're teaching. Oh, you can if you come here, because that's the topic of our conversations, right, Tom? Understand the stories in the book. Yeah, well, this important. Yeah, because it's it's like Prabhupada said. That people can only help you a little bit or to various degrees. See, but the bona fide spiritual master finishes it. The finishing touch, man. It's complete. Functional completeness. You'll feel it. You get the mercy of Guru, and then the verse applies to you. Like in this chapter here, poets cannot. Here, let me read the verse. This will be you and everybody else if it's not already in this mood here. Okay, what do we got here? I'll just read you the verse. Yeah. Oh, my Lord, transcendental poets and experts in the spiritual science could not fully express their indebtedness to you, even if they were endowed with prolonged lifetime of Brahma. For you appear in two features, externally as the Acharya and internally as the Supersoul. How do you know you met the external Acharya? Well, they lead you to the Supersoul. It works. That verse becomes your experience, and you feel the same way. I could never repay my debt to my Guru Dev and who's awakened the Lord in me. Okay? See, from the heart, from your realization, you become the verse and you teach the verse. You went in what did Jesus say? You go in the door and you become the shepherd of the sheep. See, and you get this mercy, and then you can distribute. You can also, when you realize this, you become a real good disciple. You become a great guru, the perfect guru for the world. The Lord distributes perfection in devotional service through you. Everybody has it asked backwards because they haven't got this blessing here. All these, it's always like that. Somebody just happens to get the blessing, isn't it? Like Prabhupada got the blessing out of all the 60,000 disciples. Bhaktivinoda also, like that. Jesus Christ. Abram got the blessing out of all the millions of people in the world. And what is it? They all heard the voice of God, but not the way people speculate on what it is. It's like how we hear the voice of God, the revelations, the realizing, the understanding that people, unless you come in through this process and understand this verse by personal experience, you won't know how to communicate with God. There'll be all these blocks, all these flaming swords hiding that truth that's so close to us. Yeah, Acharya propagates the cult of devotion. You got to be the verse, man. People say, who's your Guru Gauri? Don't worry about that. Worry more about, is the cult of devotion being propagated here? I couldn't find a guru who I could say could add anything to me. That's honestly, except Prabhupada's books and the Goswami books. So what to do? They added to me big time. I could take advantage, but most people can't. I had devotion from the beginning, from reading the Bible, just a few verses, and boom, it was there. One verse from Prabhupada's books, and boom, it was there. How many people are like that? Well, you guys will be like that. I guarantee you, you that are ecstatic now, when you take another birth, as soon as you get a Bible, as soon as you get the Chaitanya Charitamrita, you think you've lost anything here? You are more wealthy than Bill Gates. Thank you for your service, Billy Boy. And Charles Klaus Schwab, because you have wealth you take with you. Wherever you go, as soon as you get the boom, it's there. Klaus Schwab, as soon as he gets the Bible, he says, I don't believe in this. You become ecstatic. Oh, you realize, as soon as I read the Bible, must have been another life, because as soon as I read a few verses in book of John, man, immediately I was flooded revelations from God. Ooh, all over the place, man. I understood it was really true, all the deep meanings and everything. On the ecstasy, man, every cell in my body went into ecstasy. 24/7, man. Full blown out awakening. Weeks. Boy, that was a dump, man. Boy, cleaned out a lot of crapola. Never the same after that. Thank God. Now life had meaning. Before it was empty and meaningless. Had no meaning. The cult of devotion. Yeah, the cultivation of devotion. See, that's perfect. See, the cult of devotion to these leaders that are not really carriers of the spiritual potency never works. It always fails. Always a failure. Was Jesus, there was a cult of devotion to Jesus, right? Those 11 persons, was it a failure? No, it was a complete success. It's always a success. You become a cult of the Jonestown person that is a false representative of Jesus. What happens? You get poisoned. Literally, they got poisoned, in Jonestown. There are a lot of cults like that. They always lead to misery. They're not real representatives of Jesus. The same thing happens in Vaishnavism. You follow these devotees who are not really representatives of Lord Caitanya. They're not eternal associates. Never works out. Never worked out for me. It was only a block. I felt more brainwashed than I was literally brainwashed. Not brainwashed like here, you really get your brain washed, and you get cleared out of all speculations and you feel God's presence. There you get brainwashed and you know less than what you came in. You become more manipulated. That's the whole idea of religion and the world. Your leaders are still in Maya.
Brain poisoned.
Yeah, literally. And they get so bad they even want to poison their gurus. It's a poisonous affair. Is there a wonder why Prabhupada didn't teach what we're teaching? Even Prabhupada, you could look in his Vedabase. You could see he was talking about his guru. He says his guru is getting injections. Oh, isn't it funny, the injection thing? It's a great way to poison people, injections, because it leaves no trace. See? And he hinted. He said, well, my guru was not very happy when he left. And he was getting injections, hint, hint, hint. And then we hear, Bhaktisiddhanta said, he was only 64 years old. Bhaktisiddhanta said, I should stay around 10 more years, but they're pushing me to leave. See, this is usurp. These are materially these are the leaders. That's why after Bhaktisiddhanta left, the whole thing got destroyed. The whole Gaudiya Math, there were murders in there. Just like here in the ISKCON, Prabhupada left, the murders, guru business book, murdering, just all kinds of weird shit. Religion, man. You get corrupted. If you don't have love of God, how are you going to be purified? Taking on the karma of other souls. You got enough of a payload yourself. Go look at some of these gurus. Just be honest. Look how miserable some of them look. These were crazy, you know? Hamsaduta went insane, literally, getting all the insane, became drug addicted and crazy, and with the guns all over the place. Even when he came out of it, he started to come out of it a little bit. So it was good for him. But he still always had it. He always, that's the thing. What you gotta realize, worship Prabhupada and worship the devotees for love of Krishna. When you get that, you're on the safe journey. That's what you'll learn here. Worship the Lord just because the Lord is beautiful, wonderful, and has these attributes that he's showing us, these virtues, these transcendental virtues, this ever freshness, this ever fresh happiness. This isn't life about happiness. I mean, even demons, they're doing things for what they think is going to make them happy, but it never fully does. But we're doing these things for happiness too, but it makes us fully happy. We're teaching what real happiness, where are you going to get where real happiness really, really is, for God's sake, and yours and mine. Where real happiness is this pearl of great price. This worship in intimacy and ecstasy, that's Vrindavan, and this is the new Vrindavan. It's not some temple over there in Virginia. When they call that the new Vrindavan over there, when they had this guy that was doing weird things, pedophile, bonking his disciples, males, and he was weird shit, man. And that's the new Vrindavan. See, it never works out, these things. Murders over there, all kinds of weird shit. Put the guy in jail for years. This is the new Vrindavan, isn't it? It's actually the revived Vrindavan, the renewed Vrindavan, renewal. We renewed. It's like, you have a license, you renew it. See, we have a license to renew the new Vrindavan. See, this is the license. We have the authority here to show what is Vrindavan. Show it, man. Show the worship. Teach. What? Go ahead.
Rebuild.
Yeah, rebuild this Vrindavan. I was reading somewhere that in Raganuga Bhakti, remembering is important. You also told me personally that for me, ecstasy will come when I remember. Yeah. Yeah, well, it comes especially when you're chanting. See, the ecstasy comes when you're chanting, the remembering. See, it's hearing, chanting, remembering. So you hear and you chant. So when you're chanting, you're hearing, and the remembering starts to come automatically. Automatically, the remembering is like a lot of stuff you read, Tom, it'll come back to your memory, and then you'll relish the which you've actually studied before or understood. Yeah, it's beautiful. It's perfect. It's what devotees are. That's why they never give this up after enough experience in this material universe. This is the best thing, is to become a devotee of the Lord and have this eternal relationship reestablished. I mean, we're all built for this and this alone. That's why the Mayavadi level is not enough. It's not. Eventually, they come back down here because they get bored. Even you can see Mayavadis in this world when they allegedly attain their state. Say even if they did, they become bored, and they come down and because they can't attain bhakti, because unless you listen to a real Vaishnava and associate, you won't get it. You have to come through the door. The door is the next stage. Person who has realized it personally. Even a Mayavadi has to do that. And you know what they usually do? Prabhupada always commented on this. They come back to doing good deeds and philanthropy. It nails them every time. They can't proceed further because they refuse to simply hear from a Vaishnava who is so empowered with so much power spiritual potency to lift you from a Mayavadi up into the spiritual platform, to lift you from any of the modes of nature to the spiritual platform if you have enough faith in them, in their teaching and surrender and stuff. That's why you got to hear.
Yes.
Go ahead, Tom.
Yeah, when I listen to you, I got this idea. It's simple, but it's about I can turn my my Hoover, my I can turn it into a sucking. I can turn it into blowing, and I feel there's a deep meaning in that. I can clean things better with blowing than with sucking.
You can clean things with blowing better than sucking.
Yeah,
Okay.
for instance, my computer, there's dust in there,
Yeah.
and when I suck the dust, it doesn't work, but I can turn my system into blowing, and then it works. So for me, this
Yeah,
means,
actually, yeah.
yeah,
Good, yeah.
for me this means I have to change my system in receiving and getting, but
Yeah.
sometimes the method has to be changed.
Yeah. I can get that. Yeah, because if you're sucking, you suck in the contamination. See, and then it's harder to get rid of. So better if you have knowledge, you can just blow it away and doesn't come inside. You don't need to. Yeah, that's great realization. Nicely put. Yeah. I blow a lot of stuff away. Blow it off, man. Don't need it. Just blow. Why do I want to take it in? I used to take it in. Some people here take it in. They think it's about taking it in. Take in the contamination. Like even I have some students sometimes, they want me to take in their contamination. Oh, please listen to my listen to my mind. And oh, no, sorry, I don't. I blow it. I go into the blowing mode. No, I done it. No, I don't need to know. Sorry. I don't want to
More
be a garbage
functional.
can. Yeah, more functional. I don't want to be a garbage can for you, Ken, because I gotta feel it in the heart, and it's just like make me feel lousy and all that. No, I don't need it. Yeah, but I do Tom's idea, the blowing method. Blow it away. It's a great idea. I was using that. I didn't even know it. Yeah, I don't like that sucking method anymore much. Suck it in. And that's what, that's a lot of people, they teach that is just take it in and feel your pain. We were actually feeling uh, like Eckhart Tolle, once you get feeling your pain, and then when you break through that, you get to feel other people's pain. What a life that is. Can you imagine? It's painful enough to feel your own pain burning, right? And then you got to feel other people's pain. Oh my God.
Yeah,
What a
yeah.
path.
There's a whole school that they are teaching. You have to accept. You have to accept. Yes,
Yeah, they
but
teach that.
can you also accept your non-acceptance?
Yeah.
You also have to non-accept.
Yeah, well, one thing is you just got to deal with your own stuff because that has to be acknowledged. I mean, that I know when I was feeling sometimes like in my heart or something, I have to feel. I have to be honest and deal with that. But then when there's a place where you get pretty clean in the heart, or actually really clean in the heart. Then because of contamination from others, that's what you got to watch. Because when it comes in the heart, it burns, and then that's the contamination. And it takes a lot of time, got to deal with these things. So basically that comes from intimate association with people that are contaminated, And I learned that lesson. I've learned it a few times. Yeah, and that's actually principles taught in Vaishnavism. Watch out who you're intimate associating with, because if you have that's what you feel when you feel like your Krishna is being hurt. is the contamination you get from that intimate association. It could be a husband or wife, too. If you're too close, you feel the contamination. I felt that when my wife, also, she went to the Narayan Raj and Radhakund Babaji's. When I would get close again, I'd feel that I didn't know how to deal with that. I wasn't clear about it. It took years to get clear about what was going on, that this was a contamination. She just sucked it right up. She sucked it right up, and I always felt it was a contamination, but so it took me some time to figure it out. I figured it out with the Narayan Raj group. There was some kind of weird thing going on. It's just, nobody knows. They think that is wonderful. This is what I had to personally learn. And my ex-wife couldn't figure it out. She went right into that, and she went right into the Radhakund Babaji's, right into this one guy, this one Radhakund Babaji. He was this guy was a real rascal. Really big time. And I got sucked into it and for a little bit. But then I started to feel really contaminated in my heart. It's poison. I was poisoned. And I tried to tell my wife, I'm just saying this because it's a lesson, a teaching, not to put everybody's, I don't get it wrong here. This is just confidential, but to learn the lesson. I told her, I said, listen, this guy's not right, man. It's complete hypocrisy that he's doing. Yeah, and what he's doing is it's a sham, man. And I'm feeling my heart is poisoned by it. Let's get out of here. She wouldn't. No, she was brainwashed. It's like people, you try to tell them what's going on in the world, but they've taken in the poison of believing in deceivers, and they won't listen. They've been, it's the same thing in religion. And some of these religious leaders, they got some kind of power. They get it from people. See, they use us as batteries, and using controlling mind techniques and stuff. This guru was doing shit like that. And so Krishna protected me because I had bhakti from the beginning, and I only went so far. And then I felt the contamination. I realized, oh, this is weird. I tried to get my wife, she wouldn't come. And I went to Delhi, just to get out of there. And I had to go back, getting back with Jesus was the only thing that helped me, because I was so contaminated from that. Forget about Krishna, it was just, it was like, oh, it's all, crazy. And yeah, go ahead. What?
I can wait. If the problem in those kind of groups is also the social pressure. They can't go out because there is so much social pressure. The others all believe it, so I will say yes as well.
Yeah. The social, all of that. Yeah. And it was really weird. So anyway, I journaled for like a week, and it got the poison out, man. And then I went back to Jesus, and I felt like I got stable again. But man, that spun me out for a long time, man. And well, not for a long time, just a little bit, Yeah, go ahead.
Some of those Vaidhi Bhaktas or so-called Raganugas are nice persons if you deal in a mundane way, but from the moment they start to talk about Krishna, oh la 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 la. No, let's not talk about Krishna with you.
Yeah. Exactly. Lord Caitanya taught that. Vallabhabhata was full of pride. But he can quote the verses, just like with the Narayan Raj group. They can quote the verses, and maybe even the Radha, they can quote the verses, but their understanding is another thing. And so Vallabhabhata would quote the verses from Shastra, be great and everything. But when he preached the purport, oh my God, the Lord wouldn't even hear it. The devotees, they didn't like to hear it. It's like, ugh. But, you can see right in the passage of Vallabhabhata. Vallabhabhata quoted, the verses, and the Lord was very ecstatic, embraced. Oh, it's great to hear the verses. But as soon as he gave the purport, oh my God, his understanding was trash, was garbage. It was speculation. He didn't understand. And it came out as he wanted to be, like better than the Acharya. And that's when you like people changing Prabhupada's books saying they want to be better than the Acharya. So it's an imitation thing. Some people might say, Gohar, you also do. Yeah, well, look at what I'm doing. I'm just bringing people's attention to the spontaneous devotional service that is the next stage. I have to do that. Otherwise, you all mix in Vaidhi and Raganuga like everybody else is doing and be alloys. We want pure devotional service. You have to be empowered to do these things. Otherwise, it never will work. It works here. See, because it's empowered. The Lord is helping. And so, he's our counselor. He gives us revelations because of this ecstatic worship. Yeah. So all these verses, one should know the instructing spiritual master. See, instructing spiritual master to be the personality of Lord Krishna. See, instructing spiritual master, when you meet them, how do you respond? That's how the Lord tests the world. People think, oh, I'm a devotee of Jesus or Prabhupada or anybody. But then the Lord sends the Shiksha Guru. Shiksha Guru is, okay, that's the test. If you recognize them, okay, you pass the test. See, but most don't. See, they worship still Prabhupada and Jesus and all this in name only still. It's just, for motives. They have other motives and speculations and all that. Then they meet an empowered Shiksha Guru to who's here to help them. They don't listen. See? But you guys have listened, and look, you get a better result than what they get from all their austerities, all their regulations, all their rules, right? Look at the results you guys get. See? Because you listen to Shiksha Guru. And you don't know a touchstone till you see it work. You're the works. By their works they shall be known. By their fruits they shall be known. See, you're the fruit here from hearing from this guy. See? And you witness, yeah, the fruit is good. Yeah, we taste. You should also try. See, that's preaching. And if people consent to give it a try, give it a 30-day challenge or whatever, come and check it out. It may, see, many are called, few are chosen, few, we go and we fishermen of men, we're out, throw the line out, see who we hook. This is a good way, the good fishing, because the world is fishing for your attention too. Everybody, Maya's always there trying, hey man, look over here, go get involved in this, believe in this person, believe in this philosophy, believe, so many things. Yeah. So what does Bhakti Tam say?
Accepting this pollution also came when I let people in my house and car, and when I came in their house or temple or car. Then it's hard to find my inner leading own heart.
Yeah, you get confused. Yeah. So you just got to watch it.
I'm not getting confused. I just feel it's painful to hear, painful to listen to them.
Oh yeah. There's that.
I'm not confused. I'm just saying,
Yeah.
what?
Yeah.
Cool.
But there's another aspect. The confusion happens when you're not mature. See, when you're not so mature, you get confused by these kinds of persons. But when you're getting more mature and more clear, you catch it. You say, see? But otherwise it catches you. I saw you were caught some before sometime, but now no more because you're cleared. See, that's how I bring the disciples to maturity. Then when it comes in, you go, I know, because I was caught too. There was a confusion. You get confused. But gradually, see, that's why we work together here. We get through all this stuff. Then we got, these are the tests. And then we get strong, and then we can help more people can come in. We can help more people, because this is what we're doing is phenomenal to bring so many people to the ecstatic stage. I'm telling you, Prabhupada's very happy with this. It's got to be unusual preaching. They wouldn't even dare do this kind of like this. This is we're daring like Lord Caitanya and Nityananda did, and also the preaching Goswamis who went out into villages in ecstasy and preaching these confidential things to their disciples. See who came. See, because if you don't come here and get purified, you can't hear this. This all sound like insanity. Because why? Because until you're purified, you're more or less insane. That's just how Prabhupada talked about this. The people, they don't, what, me insane? Yeah, you're more or less. I have to get purified. We all got to get purified to understand these topics. What did Lord Caitanya say to, Sanatan Goswami when he wanted to hear the Atmaram verse, which sounds really crazy, man, if you're not purified? He said, well, you want to hear that verse? Well, I'm a madman, and Sarvabhauma, who heard the verse and because he got purified by Lord Chaitanya's grace, he's another madman. Therefore, he took my words as truth. So what's the purport? In other words, the people in general cannot understand the words of Lord Caitanya until they're purified. That's why Prabhupada said these deeper teachings of Chaitanya Charitamrita are postgraduate. See, they're in our hands here, if whoever's ready. And otherwise you won't be able to understand. You got to become a transcendental madman. Literally, we show, aren't we? Don't we look like transcendental madmen and women chanting? Look at you and me and Johan. Don't we appear mad to the world? People look, what do they do with everything? Well, if you're not like that, you're not self-realized. And if you don't like this kind of worship and are attracted to it and don't come into the inner circle and get purified, well, then you'll just be mad. You'll be the mad one in the world, and you'll be mad. You'll have anger, you'll have hatred, and all of that stuff. And that's what keeps you in the jealousies, and all that stuff keeps you in the world. You'll be mad. You got to come and get this transcendental madness. See, it's always madness. Either you're mad because of the world or mad because of ecstasy. So make your choice. Go ahead, Lilita. What? See, we got a choice. You could be mad because of ecstatic love, and that's what they preached. It's in Chaitanya Bhagavat. You got to become mad in chanting the holy name. Otherwise, you're not realizing prema. You're not realizing the purpose of chanting. Is this
It's always
transcendental?
about transcending. Sorry.
Yeah,
I
go
thought
ahead.
there
No,
was space.
no,
It's
you're
always
going
about
to space.
transcending mundane madness, mundane
Yeah.
things into transcendental things.
Yeah. See, everything. The truth is the inverted. It's the complete inversion of the world into the true reality. See, it's like the upside tree. The banyan tree is upside down, and the roots are growing up. How does that work? I have to read the verse. I won't comment on it now. I got to refresh my memory on that. But anyway, everything is inverted. Just like even from the mode of ignorance to passion, there has to be an inversion. So the demons right now are working to invert the things that are more in the mode of goodness and make things mad, make everybody make chaos. Chaos is mode of ignorance. Things don't make sense. And they want that because that inverts everything and that destroys the mode of goodness. See, mode of goodness is morality, principles, and they want to the mode of ignorance is destroying that. So they have to invert it. They have to make the lie the truth. There's lies in ignorance and there's lies in goodness. They're just lesser. They're more. There's a little more truth in the mode of goodness than in passion and ignorance. See, there's more truth, more light, but still not fully. See, the full inversion of the complete truth is in the transcendental potency of an understanding of the transcendental Lord. See, so that's why it appears like madness here. What did Lord Caitanya was showing the transcendental truth here when he was expressing, right? Ecstatically worshiping the Lord in ecstasy and crying and laughing and dancing and all that, like the kingdom of God. It was like that. Yeah, because that's more truth. Actually, it's interesting. All these things related. I was watching this Facebook video about TikTok video. Was it Facebook? Facebook, actually. There is these Aboriginal type persons living deep in the jungle. These people hardly met any men, and they live deep in the jungle. And some tribes are cannibals too. They wouldn't just eat anybody. If you would commit a severe offense to the community, they would roast you. Instead, that was their jail. They just put you up as a barbecue. So anyway, these people, they were so joyful. And they would just dance all the time. They were just dancing. Whatever they did, they just danced around in great joy. This guy who went, they saw them, he said, never seen anybody like this. So happy. And they're in the jungle, not with anybody. They're only with themselves. And inside the jungle, the mosquitoes, and all the dense jungle, you could barely walk, They had to live in big tree houses, but they had this mood, that's joyful, and they were always dancing. Lord Caitanya was like that, like some kind of spiritual. They had so little contact with mankind that the joy of inside them, of God, maybe being close with God inside, was bubbling up. And they'd just be dancing around. I should have saved that video. I'm going to look for it. I'll see if I can find it. Yeah. So that's the way the Lord was. He was in the joy of the kingdom, and he just was just dancing, into video. And some people were really attracted because it's different, Some people thought he was totally insane. The new word of this mouth is blow. So, Lalita, you want to give it your little class this morning? Yeah? Yeah, I got up too early today, really too early, like 12 o'clock. So I think I need a little rest. Okay, let's play the Fanny song, and we're out of here.
He would go out at sunrise chanting, dancing to his name. Haribol, Haribol. He would wake up everyone, rise and rejoice to the name. Haribol, Haribol. Mukunda Madhava, Govinda Hari, Haribol, Haribol. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he has come to taste and give away the sweetness of his brain. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, all you have to do